strength, it's the legacy, it's the faith, it's the history, unerased, of a sisterhood, of a race. It's the strength for me, it's the strength, it's the legacy, it's the faith, it's the history, unerased, of a sisterhood, of a race. In my shoes, listen to my blues. I stand before you, resilient, stronger than power, soft as a flower. I know the hour, I am the times. It's the strength for me, it's the strength, it's the legacy.
Have a heart. That's our theme song this month. And we mark heart health, Valentine's Day, Black History, and Groundhog Day, hopefully signaling the first thaw of winter. Thrilled to share an amazing lineup with you. Women's voices giving you tips on heart health, the scoop on romance novels, and also enduring relationships, unconditional love. There's lots of treats in store, so stay tuned till the very end. We're featuring a guided meditation dedicated to health, love, and self-care. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the show.
Hi, my name is Tara Robinson. I am the founder of Black Heart Association. And so I was invited to this space with Unerased to talk about what are my 3 steps for us as women, as people across the world. What can we do to know about our heart health, not just for American Heart Month, but for the rest of the year, and take it and spread it to your family for the rest of your life, okay? So here we go. We have 3 tips. And before I get into my tips, I want you to remember that everything flows through the heart. Nothing misses it. Our heart is a garden that we must water and we must nourish. So with that being said, here are my 3 tips. Number 1, I want you to stop. I want you to stop and analyze and observe. Stop and look at your plate. Look at what's on it. Is it full of healthy things or is it full of unhealthy things? You decide. When you look at that plate and it's full of unhealthy things, you need to analyze it. You need to observe it and you need to say, what can I get rid of that's not serving me properly? That is not nourishing my heart health. But I want you to remember. Number 2. So number 2 is no. Both no's. So you got K-N-O-W and then you have the word N-O, right? So let's talk about no, K-N-O-W. Know where you stand as it relates to your heart health. Knowing where you stand empowers you to talk up if you have to go to your doctor or if you have to go through the ER system. So when you know where you stand as it relates to your blood pressure, which especially us as Black people, we need to own our spaces, our bodies. So you can go to a CVS or a Walgreens, whoever, and get you a blood pressure cuff. You can even get a glucose meter to check your glucose levels to make sure you're not diabetic. So you own your power when you know where you stand as it relates to your health. Then the word no, N-O, empowers us if we have to go to the doctor or through the ER system and we're being turned away or we're facing racism or bias in care. That word empowers us to take control and ownership of how we are to be served in those spaces. We expect. Number 3, B. Be in charge. Be in charge of your space, your energy, your surroundings. Be here and be here well. We need you here, not just for yourself, but for your family and the community at large. We all have work to do. We were all called here for a purpose, and nobody can fulfill their purpose if they're unhealthy. Be here well. And if you want to hear more about what Black Heart Association is doing, you can visit us on all social media websites and at our website, www.blackheartassociation.org.
I'm Jennifer James. I'm a professor at the George Washington University, and I'm going to talk to you about a romance novel that I chose for a course called Black Women Writers in the 21st Century, and it's by a Black British woman author named Talia Hibbert, and it's called Get a Life, Chloe Brown.
I am Kimberly LeBeau, CEO and founder of LeBeau Publishing Enterprise. We're a self-publishing book company where we help writers to find the power in their voice and to get their written word out to the public. Everything from beginning to end through the publishing process. One of my favorite romance novels. It's a romance novel that I just read last year, at the end of last year, was Before I Let Go by Kennedy Ryan. I absolutely love this book.
My name is Victoria Rael Clark Hunter, and one of my favorite romance books is Honey and Spice by Bolu Babalola.
Yeah, so the plot of the story is really interesting. It's about a really posh, well-to-do Black British woman who falls for a working-class man when she rents an apartment in the building where he's a superintendent. And he's also an artist, and so she peers at him like through her window, and she sees that he's creating this wonderful art, and that becomes the draw. And even though a lot of people are now turning to romance novels by women of color, I think that it's really important that she is a woman of color, and she has a disability, and she's bigger bodied. And so I think what Talia Hibbert is doing is she's taking her own experiences. She's also has a disability, and is trying to teach us that women, no matter what they look like or what ability they have, that they can enjoy sex and they can fall in love.
So the plot of the story of Before I Let Go, it's about a couple who's been divorced, but they're co-parenting, and even though they are divorced, they own a business together. And so they have figured out how to coexist, even though they're divorced, in order to provide a healthy life for their children, and also support each other through their business ventures.
So the plot of The Honey and Spice is basically that it follows the main character, Kikiola, and she is a second-year college student. She is of Nigerian descent, and it takes place at a college in the United Kingdom. And it really follows Kiki as she goes through her year of college. She hosts a radio show for her campus. And basically, there's a guy on campus who had recently transferred, and he's definitely a ladies' man. All the girls loved him. But Kiki, she had been kind of betrayed in her past, and so she's like completely closed off to boys, period. And of course, in true like romantic comedy fashion, she ends up being interested in this boy.
It's a page turner because it's funny, it's tender, it's really, really steamy, and it's incredibly well written.
And then we all, sometimes we're rooting for that couple to like get back together. And in this book, you see a lot of going back and forth with the emotions and everything. And it was just really a joy to follow the storyline, not knowing where it was going to lead. And I think the author just did such a great job of weaving through these intricate topics that really touch our personal lives.
So, Honey and Spice is a page turner for a lot of reasons. It's a really cute, witty, fun, and funny book, but it's also very romantic and kind of gives you all the feels. For me, as someone who's like decades removed from college, it was really nice to read this like youthful romance with the wisdom I have in my 30s. Um, but it was kind of like childish, and there's a lot of cultural references. The romance is youthful but sweet, and the kind of things they talk about are relevant to our times, but really emotionally evoking.
Hello, I'm Tracy Charles McGee, and I'm the curator of She Wrote the Book. And I'm excited to bring you this segment where we will hear from one dynamic mother daughter duo. We have Pamela Woolford, an interdisciplinary artist who blends being a writer, immersive media director, filmmaker, and performer into amazing art. And we also have the legendary Reverend Sadie Wolford, who is a writer, minister, virtual reality experience producer, and more. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Tracy.
Awesome. So now in this episode, we've been exploring love and the many ways it shows up in our lives, from health to relationships to self-care. You're both artists. I would like to know how you support each other's artistry.
Okay. So, as you said, we create these virtual reality experiences and new forms of narrative multimedia work. And we're actually a mother daughter creative partners, and we're also writers and performers. So, for instance, I grew up with my mother telling me stories about her life as a child in the rural American South. And that inspired me to write a short story based on her experiences. Um, which I later turned into a film, which she produced. And now we're creating a series of virtual reality experiences together that are inspired by her telling me those stories of her own childhood. So,
And I can give you an example of how we truly support each other as well. You know, I didn't do many indoor activities since COVID, but recently Pamela was performing an excerpt from a Harriet Tubman, uh, from a monologue written by Marita Golden. And I definitely wanted to be there, support her for that performance. And I am so glad I did, because the performance was so moving that it brought the author to tears. It was emotional beyond words. And then Pamela decided she wanted to expand on that and do a two woman. Well, first she said she was going to do monologues of all of four women that Marita Golden had written about. And I knew that she was already with projects, but at the same time, I knew this was an important piece of theater art. So then I said to Pamela, well, why don't I do some of the parts? So now she's directing this two women show starring the two of us as Harriet Tubman, Fannie Lou Hamer, Rosa Parks, and Patrice Cullors.
Love it. I saw that performance and it blew my mind. It was very emotional. And Marita was brought to tears. Marita Golden, who is a prolific writer. So I'm excited about that for sure. And what was the name of the the play that you produced, Reverend Wilford?
Oh, the film. You
The
mean
film. The film.
she's talking about Generation?
Generation
Generations. That's right.
Yeah.
based on my life as a child and a story that Pamela wrote about it called Just After Supper.
Yeah, and it got quite a bit of attention. It did the film festival circuit and won awards internationally, and sort of, I think it's sort of well, it launched us our careers in terms of producing each other.
Yeah,
So yeah.
So basically, as artists, you are collaborators, and that is
exactly.
We are.
that's great. Now, what do you do to support each other's well-being?
Well, as Black women and older Black women, which I guess we both are at this point, I am very solidly middle aged at this point. We have everyday stressors, and those are sometimes doubled or tripled or quadrupled or more because of the society we live in, and race and gender issues and ageism. And I have to say, my relationship with my mother is one of my primary support systems, and we're that for each other. I'm not only an advocate for myself, for my own health, but I very much advocate for my mother with her health and dealing with, the American medical system. And we also counter stressors with joy and happiness and laughter and all good things that we share in our relationship. I get great joy out of my friendship with my mother. So, you know what? And actually, not that long ago, I told my mother's doctor about my mother's plan to live a very long life. It was, well, it's my plan as well. and um, so her doctor, took it very seriously and prescribed for my mother that she walk 150 minutes a week. So she's like, if you're going to do that, this is this is the process to get there. And so she started doing these daily walks, and we would go on daily walks together, and we would say that there were 22-minute walks, so to add up to the time by the end of the week. And I started documenting them on my social media channels, and or one of them at least, and they became like quite inspiring to other people. So now I am starting an Instagram account for my mom under the handle Sadie the Praying Lady, as my mother is a minister as well. So I feel like that's part of our support system, is that so when one needs to do something, we sort of do it together, and we support each other.
That's all.
Beautiful.
I like to emphasize the laughter part. Sometimes we laugh just for the sake of laughing. She'll say, "Mom, what's funny?" I said, "It's my laugh ministry." So they
I
say
love that.
the best medicine. So we like to keep always a positive attitude, an attitude of gratitude as well.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now, it seems like you do a lot of kind things for one another, but can you hone in on what it maybe is one of the last kind things that you did for each other?
Um, so, well, I guess like most recently, my mother gave me a ride to my artist studio. Like, so sort of my transportation fell through. My mother still drives in her late 80s, and then so if she drops me off somewhere, we get a chance to talk about our arts projects um, and along the way. So I'll say that was maybe the last. But she's constantly doing kind things for me all day long. So.
And that was fun too. It sort of encouraged me to get out and not just be sedentary in the house. So I like when Pamela encourages me to do things. But I'll tell you about a recent thing she did for me. She took me shopping for clothes for my birthday. And she picks out a lot of my clothes, and we just love shopping together. But this last time, she decided she was going to take photographs of me. And I said, Pamela, can we do that? She said, the proprietor of the store called, what is it called? Sisters?
Shimmy Sister.
Shimmy Sisters. They encouraged that. So she took pictures of me and then she started posting them on her Facebook page. And we found out that people really enjoyed the pictures. And I like that. I like that she shares the little stories of my life, and other people find them to have such meaning, actually.
Wow, there's so much beauty here. But I'm wondering, is there anything that you guys fuss about?
Nah. Okay, so I, yes.
Do share, do share.
Well, are you going to say something?
No,
You go
you go.
first.
Well,
You
I
go.
won't say we fuss about it. One thing we have learned in life is to just accept each other unconditionally. And as she told you, I'm a Baptist minister and she is agnostic. So we have a lot of discussions about that around here. And and we accept each other for what we are and how we explore life and try to learn and just try to be kind and gentle to each other and to others.
Okay, so I think that my mother she tries to make things like she tries to make us look good, but we really do argue.
Okay.
and but not about religion though. I feel like that we do. I feel like we talk in a very logical and reasonable manner about that. But there's other things that we get only. I think this is the thing. Anybody who spends as much time together as my mother and I mean, we live together, we work together. We're very dear friends. So we get on each other's nerves. So I feel like it's good to be real.
Right, right. Well, thank you. It has been so good talking to the two of you. You bring such joy to hear about your relationship with one another, the unconditional love between you. And I think we can learn a lot from you. So thank you so much for being with us today.
And thank you for having us and
Yes.
inviting us.
Thank you, Tracy.
Thanks for tuning into the show. Every day is worthy of expressions of love, from small gestures to sweeping gestures and everything in between. And we absolutely must not forget to love ourselves. So, in keeping with this, we will close with a yoga therapist, Jana Long, who will lead us into a meditation. And don't forget to tune in next month, and don't forget to subscribe.
So, hello everyone, and welcome to this guided meditation. So, let's begin. First, find a seat, your seat of comfort, where you can find that stillness. If you like to sit on the floor in a comfortable cross leg position, then do that. If it works better for you to sit on a chair, make sure that you place both feet on the floor. Rest your palms on top of your thighs, and if you have the spinal strength, do not lean your back against the chair. And then just once you settle into that seat, just take a deep breath and really relax into the exhalation. Over time, this way of sitting will help to strengthen your spine, and what that does is it improves your posture. Now, for this meditation, your eyes can be open or closed. And then, once you've softened your eyes, take a deep breath. Now, release your shoulders down. Let them go. And even when you think you've released all the way down, keep going. Let your arms rest comfortably against your body and the palms resting softly on top of your thighs or at the sides of your knees if you're sitting cross-legged. Take another deep breath. Now, one more thing. Bring your awareness to the buttocks and the pelvic floor and notice if you're holding there. And if you are, just see if you can soften. Let the buttocks soften against the surface upon which you sit. Let the buttocks go. And if you're holding your pelvic floor, see if you can relax and bring ease to that area of the body. Now, let's take a deep breath in and release. And then just sitting quietly, feel your breath as you inhale and exhale. Just feel the breath. And don't create a story in your mind about how your breath feels. Just feel it. Notice all the places your breath is touching your body. Just feel. And if you've built any tension in any part of the body that we've covered so far, your face, your eyes, the lips, the tongue, the shoulders, the arms, the hands, the buttocks, the pelvic floor, see if you can let it go. Let go. Relax. Take another deep breath. Now, the more you practice this, you will begin to notice the thoughts that move across your mental landscape. And as your thoughts move, just look at them as if you were watching television. Try not to cling to any thought. Don't judge your thoughts. Just watch and notice what crosses your mental landscape. And you sit like this for 3 to 5 minutes every day if you can. And then to conclude the meditation, take a deep breath in, but this time hold that breath in. Keep holding it, don't exhale. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Now exhale the breath, empty the body of all the air and hold the breath out. Don't inhale. Hold the breath outside the body. Hold it. Keep holding. Keep holding. Then take a deep breath in. Hold that breath in. Keep holding it. Don't exhale. Now exhale. Hold the breath outside the body once more. Don't inhale. Hold the breath outside the body. And then take a deep breath in, a deep breath out, and then just sit and feel how your natural breath is moving. Give yourself this practice every day, any time of the day, that you can find 3 to 5 minutes to sit relaxed, feeling how your breath is moving, taking time to look inward at the thoughts that move across your mental landscape. And I guarantee this will help you to stay connected to your higher self, your best self, and that you will bring whatever comes from that into the world. And thank you for being here. And I really appreciate the honor of sharing this practice with you.